And thank you for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. A day later, and the fallout from James Comey's testimony on Capitol Hill is still being felt on both sides of the aisle. CBN's national security correspondent Eric Gonzalez was inside the hearing.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth?
An embattled James Comey used his opening statement before the Senate Intelligence Committee to thank the men and women of the FBI and then apologize for not being able to say goodbye. Then he took off the gloves and put his account up against President Trump's.
The administration then chose to defame me and, more importantly, the FBI by saying that the organization was in disarray, that it was poorly led, that the workforce had lost confidence in its leader. Those were lies, plain and simple.
Senators asked the former FBI director, "Why do you think you were fired?" He said, "I'm not quite sure, but I have to take the president at his word, and it must have something to do with the way I handled the Russian investigation." Comey reiterated President Trump pressed him but never told him to stop the probe into ex-National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, but did repeatedly pressure him to publicly declare that he was not under investigation. Comey did say that the president told him that if some of his satellite associates had done something wrong, it would be good for the investigation to find that out. Comey declined to say that if he thought the president had obstructed justice, saying that that was a determination to be made by the special prosecutor. As for the probe into Hillary Clinton's private email server, Comey testified that then Attorney General Loretta Lynch directed him to describe the Hillary Clinton probe as only a matter and not an investigation.
But it gave the impression that the Attorney General was looking to align the way we talked about our work with the way a political campaign was describing the same activity, which was inaccurate. We had a criminal investigation open.
In an unexpected bombshell announcement, Comey voluntarily admitted he orchestrated the leak of his memo about President Donald Trump to a Columbia Law School professor who gave it to a reporter. Comey says that he thought it might lead to the appointment of a special prosecutor to lead the Russia investigation. Despite all the work and testimony that's already taken place, senators say that this investigation is nowhere near the end.
We're more confident today that we can, through this process, work through a very bipartisan and thorough investigation that at the end of it answers many of the questions that the American people might have today.
I thought it was very important that the American people get a chance to hear Jim Comey's statements about what all has transpired.
Eric Rosales, CBN News, Washington.
And while Comey was giving his testimony on Capitol Hill, the Faith and Freedom Coalition Conference in Washington, D.C. The three-day event is aimed at people of faith. It helps to educate, to motivate, and mobilize Christians to share the message of God back at home. The conference drew a record turnout of some 1,500 people. Today's speakers include Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, as well as Vice President Mike Pence. British Prime Minister Theresa May suffered a major setback in an intense election on Thursday. Her gamble, calling an early election as her Conservative turned out to cause her Conservative Party to lose its majority in Parliament. Our Charlene Aaron is on this story.
May called the snap election because she was hoping to increase the Conservative Party's margin in Parliament. But the left-wing Labour Party did much better than expected. Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn says people have had enough of austerity politics and cuts in public spending. Corbyn says May should resign and make way for a new government.
The Prime Minister called the election because she wanted a mandate. Well, the mandate she's got is lost Conservative seats, lost votes, lost support and lost confidence. I would have thought that's enough to go, actually, and make way for a government that will be truly representative of all of the people of this country.
Corbyn attacked May on different issues, including cutting 20,000 police officers while she was Interior Minister. That helped him in the wake of major terrorist attacks in Manchester and London. The Conservatives still have the most seats by a healthy margin, but now they're a few seats short of the majority they had held. May said that her Conservative Party would work to provide stability, whatever the result of the election.
At this time, more than anything else, this country needs a period of stability. And if, as the indications have shown, if this is correct, that the Conservative Party has won the most seats and probably the most votes, then it will be incumbent on us to ensure that we have that period of stability, and that is exactly what we will do.
May had wanted a strong majority to help her in Brexit negotiations. The stunning election results and the prospect that the EU will now be negotiating with a shaky British government cast dark clouds over the Brexit negotiations, just 10 days before they are due to start. Charlene Aaron, CBN News.
America's ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, visited Israel this week and declared the time of Israel being bullied at the UN is over. Here's Chris Mitchell now from Jerusalem.
How are you? It's such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
UN Ambassador Nikki Haley found Israeli leaders eager to thank her for the new role she's playing.
With your support, we see the beginning of a new era. Israel is no longer alone in the United Nations. Israel is no longer the United Nations punching back.
I feel somewhat guilty because all I did at the United Nations was tell the truth. And I have never taken kindly to bullies, and the UN has bullied Israel for a very long time. And we're not going to let that happen anymore. It is a new day for Israel in the United Nations.
Part of that new day includes Haley's stern threat to pull the U.S. out of the UN Human Rights Council, a group she called a forum for politics, hypocrisy, and evasion.
It is essential that this council address its chronic anti-Israel bias if it is to have any credibility.
I think Israel sees Nikki Haley's visit here as a real positive.
Many, like former Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann, who came as the keynote speaker for the Jerusalem prayer breakfast, see Haley as one of the new Trump administration's brightest lights.
She is marvelous, and I think everyone was surprised how bold and forthright and clear. She has so much clarity on the issue of Israel and the United States' relationship with Israel. And as the United States ambassador, she's announcing to the world that the United States of America has Israel's back.
Haley flew to Israel's southern border next to the Hamas-controlled Gaza Strip. She examined a tunnel once used by Hamas to infiltrate Israel and met with civilians who live on the front lines. It's likely the visit gives Haley more evidence of the threats facing Israel and its people. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
For the first time, the Food and Drug Administration is asking a drug company to drop its sale of an opioid pain medication from the market. The company Endo was asked to remove Opanir because it was a high potential for abuse. The move comes at a time where the overdose epidemic in the U.S. is at an all-time high. Still to come here on CBN NewsWatch, it is the latest fad among children, but what is it exactly? We sit down with a licensed family therapist, Linda Mental, who tells us the fidget spinner is helpful or harmful for children. We'll investigate. It's the toy craze that some say is helping children with ADHD, anxiety, autism, and even post-traumatic stress disorder. It's called the Fidget Spinner. But while some are celebrating the toy, others have questions. Health reporter Lori Johnson took those questions to family therapist Linda Mental.
Well, it's a fad toy that some say actually helps kids with ADHD, anxiety, autism, and even post-traumatic stress disorder. It's called the Fidget Spinner, and while some people swear by it, others do have a lot of questions. Joining us now for more is licensed family therapist Linda Mental, and I had to laugh when we talked about this before we started taping. You were shocked that I hadn't heard about it. It's because my children are grown now, and so I'm not
so
like up
don't
to
have
speed.
them.
Yeah. I mean, when they were little, I knew all the new fad toys, but apparently this is really popular.
This is big. This is big, and a lot of kids have them, and they're cheap, which is one of the reasons why a lot of kids have them. But they're these little spinners. They're about this big, a lot of them, and they look like, to me, they look like a small mini version of a ceiling fan. And it's got this little bearing in the middle of it, and you put it between your hands and your fingers, and you just spin it. You spin it all day. And so it's just this little fad, gadgety kind of thing that a lot of kids love.
Well, how did this get started?
So it's an interesting story. So there was a woman, according to what I've read, there was a woman named Catherine Hedinger who was visiting her sister in Israel, and she lives in Florida, and she was kind of an inventor type person, and she was visiting her sister, and she was noticing all the turbulence and the violence, and she was thinking to herself, man, if kids could do something distracting rather than throwing rocks at police in these very unsettled environments, maybe I could invent something that would help with world peace. What? Of all things. So we're going from world peace to a fad toy. So what happened is she invented this little toy, and she actually had a patent on it. She took it to Hasbro Toys, and they were not that interested in it, and the patent expired. And so I think what happened, from what I could piece together on the internet, so I don't know how reliable that is, but it looks like that some people put some YouTubes up, and it sort of went viral, and now and I've read and read what makes a toy a fad, and nobody can really figure that out. It's just one of those things that takes off. A few kids start using it, and then everybody wants it, and there you go. Everybody's got one.
But we all know the fads. I mean, when my kids were little, it was Cabbage Patch Dolls, Tickle Me Elmo, and the list goes on.
Beanie Babies probably were one of them. Rubik Cubes.
And I'm still waiting for those to go up in value. They said that they would be worth something one day, and they're not.
And I still have mine.
So how exactly does this, and first of all, does it help kids with ADHD and autism? How does that work?
Well, so some of the manufacturers say that it does, and I have to say, when we get into the science of this, it's not going to support this. But one of the issues here for ADHD is that there is science to support the idea that you notice if you have an ADHD kid in a classroom, they like to fidget when they're trying to think of a cognitive task. And so a lot of times you'll see the kids that are doing this, you know, and they're kind of moving around, they're squirming around. And teachers know that that's okay, because what that movement, physical movement, tends to do is stimulate an understimulated part of the brain, and it helps them focus a little bit. Now, the problem is with the gadget, you're not physically moving, and it's the gross motor skills that are actually helping with the brain. Instead, you've got this object out here that you're twisting, so you're sort of like outsourcing your movement, which doesn't make it effective. And then the idea behind it with autism is that there are some toys that occupational therapists use for kids with autism because of the sensory processing issues that those kids have. And so there are toys like this that they sometimes use as a way to help with those sensory processing things. But again, this is not something that there's any research on that shows that this is going to be helpful. And then in terms of anxiety, I mean, I guess sometimes when people are distracting themselves with something, you can be less anxious because it takes the feeling part of the brain, and a distraction makes the cognitive part of the brain re-engage. But in terms of science, this is mostly anecdotal from parents who say this, and you can't really believe the manufacturers at this point. Because we don't have evidence-based research that says these things are really working.
Well, we do know one thing. It is somewhat of a stress reliever. That's good. And it's not a device. It's not a screen. It's not social media. So that's good.
I'll tell you, though, Lori, the teachers are really annoyed with this. So if you go on the internet, you read any classroom teacher, they're distracting. And this is one of the issues that I always think about with autistic kids, because autistic kids can get very preoccupied with an object. And so this could also be somewhat of a distraction. And in classrooms, they make this little whirring sound. It's very low key, but you get a whole bunch of kids pulling out their spinners and they're whirring, and teachers are completely annoyed with it. And in fact, in a lot of classrooms, these gadgets are being banned because they're distracting.
Yeah, leave them at the door.
Yes.
So overall, thumbs up or thumbs down on the fidget spinner?
Fun little thing that's cheap to buy, sort of like the hula hoop in my day. You know, we used it, we had fun with it, but it's not going to do any kind of cure for any of the things that people are hoping it does. I think the claims are a bit extreme at this point, unless we get some science that changes the story.
All right, it's always something. Next time we'll talk about Pokemon Go. Linda Mintle, thanks for joining us.
Up next, it is called the Super Bowl of Christianity. See what's behind the Harvest America Crusade when we come back. Sony Pictures is aiming to make your home movie viewing a bit more family-friendly. Its home entertainment division announced its Clean Version initiative. The move will allow you to watch broadcast or airline versions of a number of Sony films free from some mature content. Joining us now with more on this and some other family viewing options is Movie Guide's Evie Bear. Evie, so what's happening here with Sony?
Yeah, I think it's awesome what's happening. Sony's now doing these clean versions of their movies. They released which movies they were already have ready to do, and some of them are great movies. This is something that we've been fighting for at Movie Guide for a really long time. In the golden age of Hollywood, they the church was very involved with what went out there. And we've been fighting for it again, and we're happy it's happening. But what you do have to be aware of is some of the movies that are on the list, it's still, even if they get rid of, the sexual content and say the movie Easy A, that's one of the movies, there's still a worldview there that's not cohesive with our worldview. And, it's a romantic worldview, and then it also talks badly about Christians. It kind of puts them down. So what we recommend at Movie Guide is, always train your child to kind of analyze the movies, think about the worldview, think about the messages it's portraying and what it's saying about people. But, overall, we're pretty happy about this.
What do you think is driving the decision to do this?
I think we've been showing them over the years that there's a huge audience out there that wants this kind of content. And ever since I was, I've been in the industry since I was young, and we always got these things by different, Christians that were trying to make these products that kind of filtered out the curse words and the violence and stuff. But now it's great that Sony itself is doing it because it's all legal. It's their content. It's big blockbuster movies. They have a lot more licensing rights to everything because it's their films. So I think it's kind of the influence that we've told them that there's a huge audience for it.
Good to hear. So what else is out there when it comes to family-friendly streaming options?
Yeah, we've been really thinking about this because everybody kind of has their new streaming options. Netflix is the biggest, but they have some original content that's more edgy. Even their TV show, Anne of Green Gables, we thought would be family-friendly. It's not really, so be careful. But one that I would recommend would be Hulu. It has some good options. It has now HGTV. We love Chip and Joanna Gaines' Fixer Upper. That's a family TV show, and they're both Christians. And stuff like Shark Tank shares our values. Sometimes there's a little bit of silly stuff that comes in there. But you could always go to PureFlix. That's one that we really enjoy, and they're really getting a lot of content out there. Christians, you don't have to worry about your values being offended, or you could just go on CBN.com and look at what you guys have. So,
absolutely, Evie Bear, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.
Thank you for having me.
Thousands will pack a football stadium this weekend for what some have called the Super Bowl Sunday of Christianity. And even more people will fill churches and homes across the country to be a part of the annual Harvest America Crusade, hosted by Pastor Greg Laurie. These are just a few snapshots from the Harvest America events that have attracted nearly 8 million people over the years. And that number climbs higher.
I love this place. I've wanted to come here for so long.
When Pastor Greg Laurie hosts the Crusade Sunday to deliver the message, America, I've got good news. Is that a difficult message in 2017 in light of terror attacks and all the things we're seeing unfold in our country?
In a way, it's the most needed message of all. And strangely, it's sort of fallen out of favor. I don't get it. I don't get why in the church we're not heralding this message more. This is the message people need. Let's just take terror attacks as an example. These are scary times we're living in. It's high on the list of fears and concerns for Americans. With this saber rattling on the part of North Korea, I read the other day that the #1 phrase in the search engine of Google is World War III near? And this is a moment for the church to step forward and say, we have good news. That's what the word gospel means. Good news. Good news in a bad world.
This year's Harvest Crusade leaves its normal location in Texas and comes here to Arizona and the University of Phoenix Stadium with guests Mercy Me, Phil Wickham, Trip Lee, and Jordan Sparks.
Let's welcome Mel Gibson to the Harvest Crusade.
Actor and director Mel Gibson made a surprise appearance at last year's Harvest Crusade. Can you give us any hint of surprises to maybe look forward to this year?
At Harvest America, at this moment, I don't have anyone I'm interviewing. At our Southern California Harvest, to be held later at the Angel Stadium, I'm going to interview Jordan Sparks, who I've gotten to know recently. And Jordan has a really amazing story because she won American Idol at 17. She became a huge success, has had a very great, fantastic career, but drifted from her faith. You know, she was raised in the church and loved the Lord as a young girl. She drifted, and she came back to Christ about a year ago. We see what happens, and things pop up, but I have no secret plans, and if I did, Ephraim, you'd be the first to know.
And to learn more about where you can watch Harvest America's Crusade, check out the story online at cbnnews.com. We'll be right back. New at the box office this week, Megan Levy. So how does it measure up for family friendliness? Here's Plugged In Online.
It's just you don't really connect with people very well.
In the movie Megan Levy, the titular female hero doesn't really start out as much of a great person at all. In fact, her life is pretty troubled. So this young woman decides to shake things up by joining the Marines.
Hang up that phone! Tuck your shirt in!
But even after that life-changing choice, her day-to-day is still pretty problematic, to be sure.
Why'd you join?
To get away from my life.
While being disciplined and assigned the job of cleaning out the kennels of a Marine canine unit, Megan hits on a providential turning point. She decides that she wants to train to become a handler for one of these bomb-sniffing pups. And then she's paired with a dog named Rex, who has some discipline problems of his own.
You're getting a dog. You got this? Think faster.
Yeah, I got this. You think I'm afraid of you? Lay down. Rex, lay down.
Separately, these two aren't really much to bark about, but together, they just might become heroes.
You can't let your whole life fall apart over some dog.
That dog saved my life.
This is an inspiring story that talks of finding something in your world to live and fight for. It shows us how the real-world Megan and her dog Rex and the Marines in general are willing to give their all to serve their nation. This is also a war movie. It depicts jarring violence and quite a bit of foul language on the battlefield. So I'm giving Megan Levy 2.5 detonated IEDs out of 5 for family friendliness. For an in-depth review of this film, or really anything else at your local box office, be sure to visit us at pluggedin.com. Plugging you into the movies, I'm Bob Olszewski for Focus on the Family's Plugged In Movie Review.
And that's going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fabulous Friday and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you right back here come Monday.